Hello. In this video you will learn how to initiate communication with the vehicle. There are two options and we'll walk you through the benefits of both. From the Diagnostic Hub screen, select Diagnosis. Here we have three tabs: Vehicle Scan, Repair and Service Reset. This video covers Vehicle Scan and Repair. Service Reset will also be covered in a separate video. Before we pick one of those, you should have selected a vehicle, found the diagnostic socket, connected the ET650 communication interface and switched on the ignition. This is all covered in the VCI connection process video within the vehicle identification section. Before we make a selection, I'll explain a couple of items. In the top left, we have a user instruction to switch the ignition on. And in the top right, there's confirmation of the system battery voltage. At the bottom of the display, we have a green tick indicating the ET750 is successfully linked to the ET650 vehicle communication interface. It's essential this tick is present, as without this, diagnosis will not be possible. Underneath is the Diagnosis Socket button, which when selected shows the location of the socket on the vehicle. With that covered, we'll overview the options for communication within the diagnosis menu. The first of the two options being Vehicle Scan. I'll select Vehicle Scan, followed by System Search. The ET750 is now scanning for vehicle systems. The dialog box highlights 42 possible systems on this car. The time it takes to complete this search will differ depending on the vehicle and the number of electronic control units. Once the search has been completed, the results page is displayed. On the left, we have the name of the system and the control unit version, with the number of faults for that system displayed on the right. I think it's a great way to start a diagnostic process. I'm aware that time is precious and we have to wait for all the control units to be searched, but it's not uncommon for a fault in a seemingly unrelated system to cause a problem somewhere else. It also lets you report to your customer other issues they may not have noticed on the vehicle. Now that the search has been completed, we have additional buttons on the bottom of the screen. The Save button appears throughout Diagnosis. It takes the information displayed and saves this to protocols. This is where ET750 records the diagnostic data saved during the test, where it can be displayed or printed at the end of the process. There's a separate video covering the protocols function in the main menu section. The Direct Selection button will initiate further communication with the selected system. This enables access to additional diagnostic data and tests. We'll come back to that shortly. System Search rescans all the available control units. The Fault Details button, when pressed, expands the search list to display fault code and description. We now have some additional buttons. The Return button will take you back one screen. The Save button, as we've already said, saves the information to protocols. Delete Faults does as the name suggests and clears the fault memory for each control unit. As you have seen, some functions are available from multiple screens. The Direct Selection button appeared on the previous display. It's also on the bottom right of this one. Selecting a system, in this case Engine Management, and moving forward with the Direct Selection initiates communication. We now have access to further test steps. These test steps are covered in other videos within the Diagnosis section. You've just learned how to carry out a vehicle scan and then communicate with an individual system. Ultimately, you'll always end up carrying out diagnosis on individual systems, but this can also be started from the Repair tab. Option 2 is also from the Diagnosis main menu. You may wish to use this where a complete system search is not required, or the system was not found using a total vehicle scan. I'll select the Repair tab and move forward. Now we have the vehicle system groups on the left and the available control units within the selected group on the right. Having highlighted engine management, you can see there is only one available in that group, namely Motronic MEV 9.2. Selecting Central Electronics shows 6 available systems. A new button you've not seen before is Pin Selection. This gives you the option to electronically change the pins within the vehicle diagnostic socket that the ET650 uses to communicate. This is an advanced feature of the ET650 for experienced technicians only. Pressing Cancel will return you to the diagnosis menu. We're going to initiate communication with the engine management system by highlighting that and selecting Start. This displays the number of faults. Pressing Start once more gives you access to all available test steps within that system. That covers both techniques to access vehicle systems and their diagnostic functions. Both have their uses depending on your needs. The main differences being, Vehicle Scan will show you faults for all systems, whilst Repair gives you quick access to a system. In the next video, we'll take a look at some of the options open to you once communication has been established.